Welcome everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Bills, and today we're dealing with a 2018 Mini John Cooper Works Countryman ALL4. Now at 668 horsepower, 682 pounds-feet of torque from a 2 litre turbocharged inline-4 engine, and the vehicle itself now weighs 2,645 pounds. Came with all-wheel drive standard, but now has off-road tyres and off-road suspension, and it can do 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds, 0 to 106.050 seconds, and going to a top speed of 205 miles an hour. So yeah, this should hopefully do really rather well, as we've already had the racing version of this car on this series, and that got all the way into 4th place. And yeah, that was unexpected in terms of how quick that was. Granted, the previous car in this series that we went out in was another Mini, which was nowhere near as good. But I feel like some of that was partly down to the fact that it had all-wheel drive in the upgraded version that we took out, whereas it was rear-wheel drive in its stock form. I feel that played a little bit of a role, but obviously this had all-wheel drive standard, and it's also really rather quite lightweight for an SUV. Now obviously it's quite a smaller SUV compared to other ones we've had on this series, but I'm hoping that lack of weight will make up for the fact that it's really not got all that much in the way of power. But unfortunately this is the only engine we could swap into the car, though granted it is the same size and same amount of cylinders and still only has a single turbocharger, but it's a a more racing orientated engine, so yeah, that's why we at least not going to have all that much in the way of understeer up front. Same engine size and everything means we don't have all that much any extra weight up front. Should hopefully actually have less now that we've lightened the car up. So yeah, putting out a decent rate of speed here. Obviously we're not going to get up to the top speed of the car, but on a decent showing. Kind of been waiting for one of these smaller, more crossover orientated SUVs on the game. So yeah, that's one reason why I'm glad we have this car in the game, even though I'm not personally a fan of these kind of vehicles. But nonetheless, that is a cracking time, and it's nearly managed to match the X-Raid racing version of this car at 2 minutes 4 seconds .618. It's a little over a second slower, which is not bad when you consider this has less power than that car did, and is obviously not quite as meant for off-roading as that racing version of this car. So yeah, fully impressed by that. It's also beating the Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 1LE, the Subaru WRX rally car, the Land Rover Range Rover, Quartz Regalia, Ford Transit SuperSportVan, and the Opel Manta 400. Only about half a second behind the Citroën DS Racing, and yeah, a little under a second slower than the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. But quite frankly, I feel that's really rather impressive, and yeah, like with every other vehicle, if I had even more laps or tryouts with this car, I imagine we could get even quicker. But again, like usual, keep it to one go to make it fair. But nonetheless, that is really impressive, and it means that Mini has 2 cars in the top 10 now, with this one very nearly coming into the top 5. So yeah, mightily impressed, especially for a vehicle that I'm not a massive fan of. But just goes to show that just because you're not a fan of a vehicle doesn't mean that it's not going to be quick, and this is a perfect case of that. So yeah, highly surprised, but I guess in some respect I should have expected it to be quick, considering the racing version was really rather quick. But like I said, this has less power than that, and yeah, certainly nowhere near as off-road orientated. But yeah, cracking vehicle, and I really wish we would have a few more crossovers like this just to see what they could do, because obviously crossovers, though they have some off-road aspects to them, they are a lot lighter than your standard SUVs, which in the case of this clearly helped because it didn't have the power to match any of the other vehicles really in that top 10. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.